Salam. This is Joan. The tape I'm doing it's about that active part of prayer and how you can achieve anything when you're poverty stricken. I'm going to start with a prayer. It's from Surah 91 called Ashams. Allah, you have made the sun with its brightness, the moon as it follows, the day as it unveils, and night as it conceals. Heaven, you have built it, and earth spread it open. What about the soul? You have fashioned it, and who gives it or inspires it with the knowledge of right and wrong? Successful indeed is the one who purifies their soul, and doomed is the one that corrupts it. So I was looking at the prayers. I have a really helpful sheet. It's by CHERI.com, and it asks questions about how I can improve my world, country, community, friends, family, what I'm thankful for this month, and what I've learned about God and myself. This covers July 2024. I decided that I would review crime and punishment as far as human error is and what happens as a result. I was motivated to do that by my own human error and concern for what's happening worldwide. The specific topic this time is electrocution, or the electric chair. That's being done in the United States. And what I learned about it is handled in the following states: Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Oklahoma, Tennessee. They've added a new one, Louisiana. They've decided that capital punishment can use that method. And what they do is they electrocute you. They connect something to your head and legs. It lasts 2 minutes to 14. A federal defender said that it could last up to that amount of time. It covers 1,700 to 2,000 volts of electricity, or 7 to 12 amps. I was trying to get some idea of what that was so I'd understand it better. And it said that the AED machine that revives or resuscitates life has about the same voltage. So you can either end a life that way or rescue one. In a prior tape, I reviewed gas asphyxiation, which lasts seconds to 15 minutes. And I did decide, after looking into a case or two, that I thought maybe our federal government was doing a good job determining how to handle a serious crime, that they were showing the same amount of concern for the criminal as for the victim as to how long they suffer, and maybe even more compassionate for the criminals. So I'm still reading about that. I did learn that in Iran in 2023, there were 1,153 executions. 853 of those were hangings. They noted that it wasn't Sharia, it was regular civil law. And it said that mostly that was drug trafficking. I was wondering what happens to the same type of person here in the United States. I'm going to look into that. I'm also concerned about godly speech in the environment, what I can do or how the community can inspire that improvement. But important not only to be a good example, but to investigate what's causing anger and maybe eliminate the bully behavior. Also, I thought a major problem around me or locally was a broken family. And I'm trying to figure out how you can improve that, because as far as emergency housing or shelters that exist, I thought that the type of person that resides in one is not an illiterate person or someone with low intelligence, more that it was a family problem or a disability. And what can you do to fix a family? I thought maybe you could make some kind of club where you, if you were having problems with your parents or siblings, whoever, you could just offer another person as a replacement, either temporarily or permanently, whatever's needed for the relationship that's missing. I know in Ohio they used to talk about a program called Big Brother, so I thought that sounded pretty good. And then, I wanted to talk a little bit about women's empowerment. As far as poverty, that's what I've dealt with. I thought, how can you achieve anything if no one gives you a job? So what I found out was I was given housing where, for the first time in years, they gave me a hot plate. I used to cook all the time, but I didn't get much food except for cold. And I was really excited. I was looking around the room to see what there was that I could do for a hobby to just cook my own food, and it really turned into an exciting realization that with what was there, I was making Chinese food. They gave us these K-Packs, Army meals, to help people that couldn't provide for themselves, and I was jazzing them up. So I did start using a website called CookPad, and you can post your own original recipes. I was doing that, and then I wanted to mention that often in life people tell us we can't do something or we shouldn't do it. And I read this poem by Shel Silverstein. I don't have the access to the internet like I used to, but it's a really good poem. It says that people often tell you you can't do something or it won't turn out before you even attempt it. But the poet says, listen to that and then listen to me. Anything can be. So I thought that was motivating. I did end up publishing a book. I didn't think it was possible. I got a little money one time, and so I have this, it's like an example of it's my own recipes, and I want to, when I get more money, try to publish it internationally. And then, as far as women's empowerment, I made an achievement club with my daughter. We were running out of money, but I started to do things that I had never done before and encouraged her to. For example, I had a fear of swimming. I don't know where it came from, but I just started enrolling my daughter in a swimming class. They have free ones through the Red Cross, and then I also enrolled myself. Well, I just kept trying to do better than I had done before, and so I ended up diving off a high jumping board into 12 feet of water and touching down, swimming. It was a large pool, swimming all the way to the side. That was my achievement. And my daughter, I used to joke with her that I was afraid I was overprotected, that if I was Ben Franklin's mom, I feared that he might have never made his inventions or realizations about a kite and electricity. But one day we were at the pool and my daughter surprised me. I turned my head and she had just suddenly, spontaneously decided to do a flip into the pool. And I was scared for like a minute or two. I thought she might bang her head on concrete, go down too far, but it all turned out. So that's the achievement she did. And then I learned that, well, if certain things motivate you. We were poor, and I got ganglion cysts on my hand. It sprung up really fast, and it was terribly painful. I went to the emergency room, and they told me that I had to schedule a surgeon to fix it, and the type of pain I was having seemed unbearable. So I went home, and I realized that no one trained me. I just removed the ganglion cyst myself because I had worked in a dental office, and I had some understanding of what I needed to do. So I removed the ganglion cysts. They've never returned. I also had a problem where I had developed an infection. I didn't really know what was going on. I just became so sick that I couldn't go up or down stairs. And I went to see a medical doctor who said, I want to just refer you to a dentist. And I looked at him and I thought, what are you talking about? I can't go up and down stairs. What does that have to do with a dentist? And I realized it was my gums or sinus problem. So I went home, and having seen the dentist I worked for one time drain sinuses, I drained my sinuses on 2 sides. So I've done 3 successful surgeries. Poverty motivated me. So it's amazing what you learn about yourself. And then my daughter, 5-year-old daughter, we cut her own hair. She came in one day, surprised the heck out of me. She said, Mommy, I cut my hair. And I thought, oh no. It was really short. And so my first reaction was thinking, oh no, you didn't. But she really cut her hair. And I thought, well, that's kind of an achievement. And then, as far as doing what a man can do, when I was in high school and went on a date, my boyfriend just rented a boat and took us out on the water. I didn't realize that to me that was something. As a woman, I had never done it. And I was 40 years old when I tried to do this thing. But I did. I rented this house on some land, and I took my daughter, who was about 12 years old, and it came with a lake and a boat, and I had read about boating, so she wanted her home boat, which scared me. I just wanted her to go in mine, but I let her do it, and we did. We actually paddled around, it was an oar, a rowboat, but what I learned was sometimes there's undertones, which was scary, and I just threw the anchor out. Everything turned out well, but waves surprise you. When you're trying to go back to shore and you're going too fast, it was kind of scary. I was afraid I was going to run into something, but it all turned out well. So I think just any interest you have, just try to do it a little better. And that's all I've learned about so far this month. So it was, what have I learned about God? I don't think I covered that. And it was that he is more lenient with punishment around a Muslim and stern with everybody else. And he doesn't want us to get hurt by disbelief or weak faith. And what I learned about myself was that I have a problem dealing with injustice. When someone hurts me with a weapon, I get really mad. So I'm trying to be less verbal and just control my emotions.